Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to the first Chinese special of the new year, but not the first Starking that I've reviewed on the channel. I looked at one in August last year, probably the most requested watch review on the channel so far anyway, and it's easy to see why when you look at the spec sheet of this watch. Stainless steel case, stainless steel bracelet, solid links, solid end links, applied indices, a usable 50 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, and to top it all off, a 4 Hz high beat automatic movement. No wonder I referred to it as remarkable, considering it was only $39 at the time I reviewed it. My only real complaint was that it lacked a little bit of character. It was a little bit bland with those white and black dial choices. Today I've got for review essentially an updated version of that watch with character now added. I've got a two-tone model on a bracelet, and I've got a leather strap within a couple of different colours there as well. Now today's watch is normally $60, but AliExpress have got a flash sale on these at the moment. They're less than $50 US shipped. The previous one that I looked at is back down to under $40 US shipped. I will leave a link to both of those in the description of the video. Alright, let's flip the camera and have a look at another Chinese spec monster. I've got two of these Starkings to show you then today, one on the leather strap and one two-tone model on the bracelet. My preference would be the bracelet. For the extra couple of dollars, I think you should always go for the bracelet, and then you can swap straps as you see fit later on. Regardless, not bad packaging considering it's a $50 watch. Little kind of Starking, almost like bamboo. Always reminds me of a little bit of lotus root there, not shying away from their Chinese origins, and plenty of spare links for the bracelet model. Quite large actually, about 8.5 inches I would say was possible with this one. You also get a little mini polishing cloth in both of the boxes. So let's do the sapphire crystal test to appease the more cynical amongst you. Seiko sandwich today, mini turtle with hard legs, and Sark's 043 with sapphire. Not exactly scientific, I always acknowledge that, but it will give us a reasonable indication if Starking are telling porkies about the crystal. Just a flicker from the mini turtle, as you'd expect from hard legs. Moving on, a nice strong positive read, 3 orange bars from the Seiko, and onto the Starking in the middle, and similarly a nice strong read, 3 orange bars. That's good enough for me. So 40mm in diameter, just under 11mm thick, so this Starking movement, not the thickest in the world. 47mm lug tip to lug tip, 20mm lug width. This one on the stainless steel bracelet, sized up for my 7-inch wrist, weighs in at 125 grams. The leather strapped variant comes in at exactly half of that. So the majority of the weight of this watch today is very much in the solid link, solid end link stainless steel bracelet. So 316L stainless steel case construction, kind of two-tone IP coated today. Stainless steel crown. And as mentioned, solid links and solid end links. I'll pop that case back, show you that one in just a minute. Butterfly clasp, as is the way of these Chinese watches. They all tend to go for butterfly clasps. Finish on the case is perfectly decent for a 50. High polish on the mid case, 3-piece case. You've got that IP gold on the bezel, and you've got a screw down case back, giving this one 50 meters of water resistance as well. One thing though, the crown looks like it got shrunk in the wash. It is a little bit small. Somehow they've managed to micro etch the little Starking logo on there nonetheless. Zoomed right in on the dial, and this one certainly has a little bit more character than the other model, thanks in no small part to those two-tone gold arrowhead indices there. So a printed dial, Starking logo, automatic sapphire 25 jewels, advertising that 25 jewel movement, and a very nicely integrated date wheel down there at the 6 o'clock. They've even managed a little gold frame around that one. And the minute track, it's actually got concentric circles on it. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up, but there is a little bit of extra texture there as well. Nice, simple Dauphine hands, but everything on this watch is very clean, very nicely cut, very sharply done, and nicely detailed. I've been impressed with the quality of these Starkings. No QC issues at all, which is quite remarkable again for the price. And they've even managed to get 3 different finishes to the bracelet. So you've got the IP gold on those kind of central links. Little high polished one, we've got a brushed one, and then we're back out to high polished on the edges. Again, pretty good for the price. Now the rose gold and blue one has quite a pronounced sunburst effect on the dial, quite a contemporary colour pairing this, the rose gold and that kind of deep rich blue. You see that on quite a lot of watches out on the market today. The leather strap is alright, I suppose, genuine leather, full croc look, embossed, Starking logo on the underside, but they haven't given us a rose gold IP coated buckle. Always a bit disappointing when the collars don't match the cuff. So let's have a look at this high beat movement then. High beat for a 50. Now by that I mean that this one vibrates at 28,800 vibrations per hour. That means there are 8 ticks to the second hand per second. You get a lovely smooth sweep that you don't get with cheaper Miyota and even some Seiko movements. That beat rate is pretty much standard across the board once you get into even the entry level Swiss movements. Now I did put out a call when I reviewed the last Starking. Did anyone have any information on this one? It was suggested to me that this was a modified Miyota 8000. That kind of makes sense because it does have unidirectional winding, though it's a damn sight quieter and smoother when you've got it on wrist than a Miyota 8215. They've even managed a little bit of perlage, a little bit of decoration on that rotor there, a couple of blue screws as well. I mean, it's not the prettiest movement in the world, but for 50 bucks, I'm not complaining. What about the accuracy? Well, I popped this one in my Barrington winder for 2 weeks there, coming in at about plus 11 over the course. I don't think that's too bad for a 50. I'm certainly not complaining. Screw down stainless steel case back with display window, obviously giving this one 50 meters of water resistance, advertising the sapphire crystal, automatic Starking and the model number at the top. And that's it, sitting on top of my 7-inch wrist. I've been wearing this braceleted one more than the leather strap. Definitely more characterful than the white and black dial, slightly cheaper models. I think thanks in part to that two-tone and the rather chintzy little bracelet. But a nice set of dimensions, going to suit the majority of wrists this size. Nice bit of curvature to the lugs, wears well, not too thick either. And that's it zoomed out for a little bit more perspective on my wrist. You get a kind of almost champagne hue to this one, that little Untitled Chapter ring reflecting off the dial very nicely. And that's the blue and rose gold one on wrist. Certainly an eye-catching colour combination and a pronounced sunburst on the dial. Shame they didn't go the whole way and put a rose gold buckle on this strap. I think this style of watch though goes great on a cheap Perlon. Really nice and light, and it's slim. You can pop that one on a NATO as well, no problem. Maybe you can see a little bit more of the sunburst effect from the blue one out in some natural light. Dressier style watch, but they're still pretty legible. Nice clean Dauphine hands and 40mm, good size, wears well, little bit of curvature, nice and slim. Moans and niggles, well, you know, I've had a couple of moans about the buckle on the blue one. Pretty minor moan, all things considered. The other thing, I guess, is that movement is a bit of an unknown quantity when compared to a Seiko NH35 or even the dreaded Miyota 8215 that I've been comparing this one rather favourably against. I can't say with any great confidence whether this watch is going to be running in 12 months time, 24 months time, 5 years time. I guess you are taking a little bit more of a risk buying one of these than you would with a Seiko or a Miyota powered watch therefore. So $50 for one of these ones then if you do like a little bit of colour, or if you want pretty much the same set of specs for $10 less. The previously reviewed black dial and white dialed ones should do you just fine. So there you have it, another Chinese bargain, a cracking way to start 2019. I do like this one, and a lot more character than the previous Starking for only $10 more. If you like the look, that is, if you like the two-tone and the Roman at 12. I think the date frame integration, the date window down at 6 o'clock, shows a remarkable degree of sophistication considering this is less than 50 US. Just incredible. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.